But here with Jean.
Hello.
And it's, what day is it? Tuesday? Yeah,
Tuesday.
Oak Island tonight. So yes, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, we gotta get home.
We gotta get home before Oak Island. This actually looks like where the monkeys would be.
There's a plaque right
Here we go.
That's right. And it's like
Side of the. Here, I'll just take a picture so you can read it. Actually, this Griffith Park Canyon Rest served as the city zoo from 1912 to 1965. I was born and this place shut down when I was born in 65. It moved. The zoo moved to where it is standing now. It was built in the 30s.
So the only question is
It once held bears, lions, monkeys, McGraws, goats, elephants, reptiles, and turtles, among others lived here. I think there's even a Sasquatch back then. No longer. So, before LA Zoo was where it is now, this is where it was from 1930 to 1965.
So it steps up here.
Oh, look at that.
This kind of makes me sad right there. You can see where they were chained up sometimes.
It looks like cover coat. Actually looks like paint. But this looks like something like the original Charlton Heston's Planet of the Apes. It sort of looks like that.
I guess he came down to feed them, I guess. Maybe?
Hey, I can squeeze through here. Do we get to go up there?
Yeah, we can go around.
And we can, because I can squeeze through here.
Yeah.
If not, I'll
when
come
we
back
go
and I'll
around,
squeeze through there.
You'll see the back.
There's some more.
I'm not sure what these, maybe birds?
Here's from the other side. They fenced it off because of the graffiti, probably.
Who fenced it? We used to just be able to walk in there.
There's where I was, where I said I could squeeze through. So here's where the, probably, I would say, gorillas or monkeys or something was kept here, huh?
Yeah, maybe these were lions and primates, and I believe there were some birds.
And now, there's nothing but monkeys.
Yeah.
And jackasses.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
You can get in. Cool.
Fall through.
I wonder what this was. These are, well, this is probably filled up with dirt. So, who knows? I'll bet if we looked online, we would know what these cages, specifically what species they had in there.
So if you were living back in my dad was born back in 37. He would have been 7 years old. He was born in Pacoima, so I don't know, maybe he did come here. I'll have to ask him. He might have walked this as a kid. So we just came from that direction. That was the lower old zoo. Now we're gonna go to the upper, there's another sign up there, the Upper Old Zoo, I guess. Upper Beacon Trail, Coolridge Trail, Joe Class, water stop. Just Upper Old Zoo to the right. Let's go to the right.
Sounds good.
Okay, this is probably nothing big for you guys that are locals, but a lot of people in other countries might be interested. This is part of LA or Pasadena?
LA. LA Glendale?
Well, yeah, LA. Pasadena's in LA, but this is not the downtown area.
I don't know what line those police.
Oh, it looks like the trail goes way over there, huh?
Yeah, that's a different one over there. We go across the grassy field and up
Grassy
that way.
knoll?
The grassy knoll. Past the babushka lady, and they got out the umbrella and up the hill.
Back home where I come from, in Orange County, we used to see gophers all the time in the 70s, but 80s too. Used to take them out with a blowgun.
Oh my God.
Dead serious. I saw a Charles Bronson movie where I forget what the name of it is. Some of you guys are gonna know. Put it in the comments down below. Where he takes a pole from a lamp. Some people are after me, he has no weapons, and he makes a blowgun with some nails and paper and tape, and I made that blowgun and got real accurate, and I could take out a gopher from here to that tree, very easy. And nowadays I have one from Cold Steel. A 50 caliber, no, a .75, 3/4 caliber. Powerful. Look at that, looks like Planet of the Apes right there. Look at that. It also looks like, oh, that looks like a rock near, okay, that looks like a rock in Israel near where they say the Garden Tomb is, where they believe historians and everybody believes that's where the tomb, the empty tomb where Jesus came from, and also where Skull Rock, where they propped him up and stoned him. So Stone Rock would be like, I mean, over here's where they'd be where they stoned him, and that'd be Skull Rock. On the other side would be the Garden Tomb, and over here would be where the Last Supper was. The valley right here, on this side of it, would be the valley that leads down to Temple on the Mount, and over here would be where, I believe Herod, no, Solomon? No. I forget who right here had a bunch of buildings, but I have a video on it. Anyway, I walked all that area, and that looks like that rock. This rock. Look at that. And whether you're a believer or you're a non-believer, but if you just like to travel, Israel should be on your list. It's amazing. And everybody says, oh, I'm never gonna go there, it's not safe. I feel safer in Israel walking around at midnight, which I did alone. I went fishing in the Sea of Galilee alone. I met some Australian lady and she joined me, but I felt safer there than I do in this zoo. There's military all over the place, and they're all really nice to you, and the cops are all really nice to you. It's the police and law enforcement really nice to you. The people are really nice to you. Look, there's actually a spring in LA. Yeah, it's running right there. It's a spring.
I know it'll run this. It runs all the way down to the other side of Griffith Park. Certain times of year.
There's one area there though in the marketplace, right? If you're at Skull Rock, looking over at the Temple on the Mount. The marketplace would be just off to the left ahead. There's a marketplace up there that's just like, it looks exactly like the marketplace on Aladdin. It looks exactly like it. The women have out there where the princess takes the apple. It looks exactly like that. I mean, they're selling their fruits, their vegetables, everything. It's a big agricultural place. And you're walking through there, and then you hear the prayer call, and everybody prays, and it's just really neat. And then there's area where there's big cutouts in the street, and you're looking down a good 80 to 90 feet with all the different levels where cities have been built on top of cities on top of cities on top of, and they've left it all there so you can see it all along the way. It is really something to see.
That sounds pretty cool right there. That's amazing.
B Rock Trail. I guess that's that fence at the top of Skull Rock. Oh, it's that Upper Old Zoo Trail to Fern Canyon Trail.
Yeah, the upper
0.8 miles.
The Fern Canyon Trail, that's pretty. Oh, Upper Old
This is a pretty neat place if you want to come up
to
here and
Fern Canyon.
just walk around and see some stuff left over from the 30s.
And that was part of it too, right there. But a lot of the structures are missing, even from like 8 years ago. I guess that's.
Oh yeah, there's the rock right through there.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like a diving platform from this side.
All right, in the summertime, you can come here for free and see Shakespeare in the Park. It's a lot of fun, and it's the same group of people, and they're really funny, and you can bring wine and pizza or whatever, lay out your blanket, lots of nice people. I love it. Lots of fun. We should go.
Well, there's one place they showed us also where, say that was the fortress, right?
All right.
All the Romans, 3,000, I think it was roughly 3,000 Romans were set right outside the gate waiting for them because the spring was over here, waiting for them to run out of water, take it over. But what the guy did, he had them inside there dig down about 80 feet through rock. How they did it, I don't know. Hammers and chisels, I guess. Through rock and then tunneled over, I forget how many hundreds and hundreds of yards to tap into that well below the river. So they had a never-ending fresh flow of water. And the Romans were waiting them out. And eventually, I guess they were running out of food. So what is believed is that is where the Dead Sea Scrolls, this is what they're thinking, that's where the Dead Sea Scrolls were written and smuggled out of and hid in the caves, and to prevent them from getting into the Roman hands. And then they took us and showed us the cave where they were actually found.
Oh man, it had to be so...
And in back of that, say the caves were over there, and I'm on the road, there's a fence here so I can't see, they're way back there. In back of the road was the Dead Sea. We went in that Dead Sea too. That was really neat.
Wow.
You wade out there, you get about to your waist, just to your waist. And you step beyond the waist and you start to float. And you lose your balance. And if you get down in the water and you swallow it, it can make you sick. They have to take you to the emergency, flush your eyes out and stuff. And you think, how bad could it be? How salty could it be? But it's more than just salt. There's something in that water, some kind of, I don't know, chemical or natural chemical or something that you get in your eye, and the burning does not stop. It's like an oily salt, and the burning just does not stop. But it's something. I can't even begin to describe it. You just gotta go, and you gotta. And the beauty about how I got there is a guy named Craig Dwella asked me 20 questions about Christmas last year. No. Yes. Last Christmas. where are you going to be during Christmas? Yes, it was last Christmas. Where are you going to be during Christmas? What are you going to be doing? And the next question was, what would you rather do? Where would you rather be if you weren't there? I said I'd be with family and friends. There's some more cages. Looks like birds, huh?
Yeah,
or monkeys.
Maybe monkeys, yeah.
Yeah, because birds would get out of those
Yeah.
probably monkeys and chinchillas.
Look at the big keyholes. Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that Three Stooges keyhole.
Oh
Look.
my God, that's so cool.
Look at that.
That's so cool. And they had gates between the cages, I guess. Oh, they would isolate them maybe for handling, I guess, for the guests, and then this would be where they live, I guess.
But on the question, I said I'd be with family and friends. But if I wasn't, where would I rather be? And on the spot, I thought, you know, I'd want to go to the Holy Land and walk the footsteps of God. And then it's a subscriber that I had never met, never really spoken to, said, do you have a passport? And is it good for the next 6 months? I said, yes, I do. He says, pack your bags, I'm sending you. And he did. He sent me. But that's not where that's not the end of the amazing part of that story is. Look at those dogs, little sled dogs. But so I checked with the Calvary Chapel, and my Calvary Chapel had been sold out. They only go every 2 years because it takes 2 years to do the preparation. So they only go every other year. Mine had been sold out for at least a year. So I checked which one was going, and there was one way up by San Francisco. So put $1,000 down with this guy, put $1,000 down, and one parrot left. And I was good to go. So the next weekend at church, I told my pastor, Pastor Lance Cook at Calvary Chapel, La Habra, I told him, hey, I'm going. He goes, with us? I said, no, somebody up north. And he goes, oh, I know him. And he goes, why aren't you going with us? I said, because you guys are full. He goes, I'm the pastor, I can get you in. I go, but the plane's sold out. He goes, I know people with planes, I can get you in. So I'm like, are you serious? He goes, I'm dead serious. He goes, you want to go with us? I'll have him transfer the money over. So he said, yeah. So he transferred the money over. Boom, he got me booked on a plane, and I went with my church. It's amazing.
That's an amazing story.
I think there were 41 of us. 41 I know because I made everybody a DVD of it. I'll put links in the details below. If you're new to my channel or you're interested, I'll put links in the details below. I have 4 videos, my entire trip, minus one day. One day I was sick, I didn't go, where they walked underneath the wall. They went through the tunnels underneath the wall. I missed that. But I'm forever grateful. You know who you are who sent me. I am forever grateful. And I said, man, I owe you big time. He goes, no, the only thing I want is record it, post it, which I did. And someday I'm gonna go back there. And what was even weirder, not weirder, more part of it, magical part of it is I did a cleanup. About 6 months prior to that, I did a cleanup at Mine Gulch. Had a bunch of people join me, went all the way down to Mine Gulch and came back up Vincent Gap, and Paul, Search and Rescue, supplied us with all these backpacks, and it's just everything clicked. There was another guy to haul out the trash. Paul supplied the packs. 21 people helped, 18 went down, and then to treat them, I took them all over to Little Jimmy. We hiked up and had a big old luau type deal going, and it was magic. The PCTs come through, and one of them comes through, goes, dude, my neighbor does a lot of trading with you. It was the guy that I do trading with, said, hey, when you're in Southern California, if you meet Pharaoh, tell him I said hi. And he met me. And so we supplied them with a bunch of food. And then this guy pops up, this older guy out of nowhere, and he walks up to me and he goes, hey, I've heard good things about you. What you need to do is you need to go to Israel. You need to do the Holy Land hike. I go, what Holy Land hike? He goes, there's a hike that goes all the way through Israel from the north to south. It's amazing. You need to go. And I said, yeah, maybe someday. And then 6 months later, I'm going to Israel. And then when I'm in Israel, I see the Holy Land hike when we're on our tour. And I'm thinking, I've got to go back there. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to do that I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go back and do it solo though. I want to do that one solo, without a tour. You don't do that with a tour. You just do that.
That's a solo hike, definitely.
And you hike it from north to south. And at the north end's the dangerous end. That's where the border to. Oh. Well, I'm just drawing a blank right now. So much going through my mind, but we're at the Golden Heights, and you're looking through the fence. You're looking down there, and there's a 17, 18-year-old girl right there, and she's in the military down there. She goes, "You see on those buildings down there? That's all where the Taliban used to be. That's all ISIS now." And not to this camera, but the other one, the little foam pad to my microphone cover blew off and blew through the fence and went down. And she goes, "I would just write it off."
Oh, well.
I wrote it off. Yeah, so if you look up the old LA Zoo, this is where it's gonna bring you. And look, they got a modern day playground down there, a big one. Picnic area. And over here, is it open every weekend or just summertime?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. I've only been there to film, but I've seen it open on weekends.
But there is an old historical merry-go-round?
Yeah, it's a merry-go-round.
Carousel.
It's a Twilight Zone, the old Twilight Zone episodes.
So that carousel is right over here.
Okay, think of the Twilight Zone episode where, if I'm remembering correctly, the guy goes back home to like Ohio or somewhere in the Midwest where he grew up, and when he goes home, he's a little kid. He's an adult, but he sees a little kid. And there's a scene around the carousel where everything kind of comes together, and of course they film that here. And you'll recognize it from a lot of old movies and old episodes. It's a pretty famous little carousel.
And also in October?
Oh yeah, in October they have the haunted hayride here. Oh my gosh.
I'm bringing my daughter this year.
So much fun. It goes through the old zoo. And the old zoo has kind of a creep factor anyway. It just does. And Griffith Park does. So
we saw 3 headless peacocks.
You did. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it.
I remember at Renaissance Fair having fish and chips with a woman that I met there. She's known locally as the hot violinist, the fiddle player. The name of her band will be going across the screen right now. I can't even pronounce it. It's a CIA something, not the CIA. Here's that carousel.
It's close. It's really spectacular actually. They've kept it up so well. It's quite beautiful.
Griffith Park merry-go-round. Oh, there it is. 11:30 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday, weather permitting.
Open weekdays during Christmas, Easter, and summer.
So I remember having fish and chips with that lady and her telling me that, have you ever rode on the hayride? I guess this is where she was talking about.
It's fun. You just be prepared.
But she plays fiddle. Her little sister plays the guitar. And they're a great band. They do a Kashmir cover that is awesome. I'll put a link to it down below. You got to check her band out.
Sounds awesome.
That's one more thing. I'll tell you one last thing about Russia and then I'll drop it. When I was in Russia, 2005, over here, cell phones were not as wide. I mean, you could get them through AAA and stuff, but they were all prepaid. The cell service was just getting started. Over there in Russia, it was full blown, like it is now almost. They even had video. I'm thinking, wow, how are they ahead of us? But they were ahead of us. So once they found out that American was in Ufa, nobody met a American. They all started calling and everybody coming. Pretty soon, like 40 people traveling with us. It was awesome. It was incredible. And then when I went back in 2007, they introduced me to some guy that was they called him boss man of a fishing headquarters and backpacking headquarters that was sponsored by President Putin. So they invited me in there and showed me everything, showed me the movies and had a big party. I went back in 2009. they had a big celebration. They had an actual parade. They went through the cities and they made us part of the parade, and they made me the first non-Russian member of a President Putin sponsored backpacking club. I got a certificate, I got a badge, and I don't need no stinking badge, but they gave me a badge, a pin, and a shirt.
I didn't even know you'd been there more than once.
3 times.
Wow.
And I'm official member of a President Putin sponsored backpacking club, and I'm on the emailing list, and they invite me. They do river rafting, they do horseback treks, they do snow, they do snowmobiles, they do snowshoeing, and they do fishing, and it's amazing. It's big. Wow. There were 452 members when I was there. I think it's up to like 1,100 now.
Oh.
So looking in that general direction, you got downtown Los Angeles. And an awesome sunset. Just picture it without the trees, without the graffiti, without the houses, without the traffic, without the noise. And it's really something. Signs everywhere, there's signs. Looks like fire in the sky when the walls come tumbling down. It'll look better.
We'll veer back over, I think.
No, we won't.
Nope, we're going this way.
No, yeah, we're going that way.
That